Hi guys, it is 1:17 p.m. on Tuesday, the 150th day that I'm doing this. Here is your daily dose of hope, and I am ultimately really proud of myself. I faced some more massive fears the past couple days, and I want to share, like, I think I'm going to title this video, I Organized My Sock Drawer, believe it or not. I don't even have a sock drawer per se. I have those bins that you can rearrange, but the top layer is like for underclothes, I've decided. So one of them is socks. And the reason I'm sharing it is because I am in the thick of things, like the thick of change and transformation and uncertainty galore, you know? But I have kept to my promise to myself that I will do whatever is in my power every day to feel as good as I possibly can feel naturally and, authentically. And I share that because I ended up going camping, but we didn't spend the night. But my nervous system, because of other people and because of just everything, was fighting as hard as it could to prevent me from going, is the bottom line. Had incredible brain fog, physical fatigue, emotional, just like not, literally my stomach was upset, like it was pulling out all the stops. And I had to, in real time, with my daughter there and everything, be like, okay, what could I possibly do that could possibly make it so my system gets on board with this, that still respects everyone else, obviously. And first I was like, well, you don't have to go. And I said, right, but what is the alternative? And I realized the alternative is not going to help me. And this could potentially help me. Like, those are my two choices. And anyway, long story short, I did my, energy work. I took a bath. I still was it was just threatening to just bury me because, I needed to pack, but my brain would not work. And I finally said I need to dance a bit, but then I realized, oh, I can go to the car. I need to go to the car and I need to just release for a bit, like in semi-privacy. I don't really get privacy, but as private as I could in that scenario. And it was incredible because when I went to the car and like I let myself release for a bit, it went from like a 12 out of 10 on every level to like a 5, and I can do a 5. And I learned a technique to get my nervous system, to reset my nervous system. So I did that. And it was just incredible. It was like, okay, the facts are I naturally absorb people's energy. So I have to work to not let others' negative energy infect me. I don't have the luxury of that right now. And ultimately, I had two actually massive, like, mom instinct moments. One of them was we were in the car about to go, and I said, let me triple check that I have my swimsuit. And I thought that was kind of weird, but I just did it because I was so spent and I was so just already drained that I didn't have the energy. I just spoke my mind. And I looked and I did have my swimsuit. But because I specifically said that, my daughter goes, let me just triple check I have mine too. And I told myself, just let her, and sure enough, she didn't have hers. So the instinct or the intuition was somebody's swimsuit's missing. So I just thought that was incredible. So because we caught that, was able to go inside, get it and whatever. And then another time we were in the car, another time that day, we were in the car and she was saying she wasn't feeling very good. And I realized I wasn't feeling very good because I had had a rough morning because she had talked to her dad and all this stuff. And all of a sudden we passed a grocery store, or we were about to, and I said, I need to stop. We need to stop. It just came out of me again. And I was like, is that really happening? Am I just speaking up? And I'm now literally wobbling in the store with her, but I ended up buying like the only nausea medication they had. We like went to the bathroom, got out of the car because we were both and we were about to go on a super windy road, and I didn't realize that. So it was just like, wow, like when you actually pay attention to how your body feels, you can really get its, let's say approval, but you can get it on board. And when you can get that on board, in my opinion, that's when you become unstoppable. And that being said, today has been the 10th day that I've done my dancing. I did it with my daughter. She was off school yesterday. So we ended up doing it together yesterday. I'm doing my non-negotiables, and things are really, I've done today, I said, turn on a meditation. I found my earbuds, so I'm like, turn on a meditation and just work on putting away a load of laundry while you listen to a meditation. And because I did that, all of a sudden it was like my system was on board, and I was like putting away my socks, and I'm like, this whole section is so disorganized. Now in the past, that already would have been too overwhelming, because it would have been like, oh my gosh, I've had to move so many times now, there's all this stuff here, I don't even know what's here, what if there's triggering stuff here, but she's coming home, right? But because I was listening to the meditation as I was doing it, as it wasn't a time crunch, all of these things, I had done my dancing, I'd done my energy work. So in that moment, I was able to be like, yeah, I can do this. And I pulled all 3 drawers out, and I organized them, and I put them back. And that might sound so insignificant, but in my brain, it's like a closed loop. It's like, oh, now, and I wrote it down on a piece of paper in a notebook of like, this is what is in this drawer. This is what's here, and this is what's here. Because I think when our lives are in, even if it doesn't look like chaos, but like uncertainty, turmoil, that type of feeling, we need to cling onto any form of, any sign of familiarity, organization, like routine, predictability. And all I can tell you is after I did those 3 sections, and then I was like, well, what do I do with all this other stuff? I just put in a different container for now, because that wasn't even supposed to be the point, right? And when I did that, I swear it was like my system was like, thank you. That's one thing we can cross off. Now we know where the stocks go. We know where this goes. So we're not reinventing the wheel every hour of every day, And like, it feels like it's a system, at least those 3, that it's set up, that now that's done, So anyway, that being said, today's quote is, we must be willing to let go of the life we planned, in all caps, so as to have the life that is waiting for us. Now at the moment, I'm very tired, but I'm actually right after this about to lay down for a bit before my daughter gets home. And I'm seeing how, as I always say, we all have the right to do what makes us genuinely happy, So technically, my daughter was home from school yesterday. Technically, I had every right to just stay in bed all day, right? Like, I technically could. But I didn't want to do that, And the facts are, we, made breakfast together, then we cleaned up, we made lunch, we did dancing together, made sure she got ready for school, like did a lot. And I'm just trying to, for the first time, include myself in that equation. because the more that I can build in rest and recovery, the more I can perform at a high level, right? For longer. Like that's how it works. So, for instance, today I'm like, why am I so hungry? Well, I'm working out every day. It's just that I forget. Like my effort, I always forget. And people think that's a really good work ethic. It's not, it's a trauma response. But, that being said, I'm seeing how, like, when she left for school today, part of me just wanted to go back to bed. But I had a meeting at 8:30 to get, possibly get some food. So I said, well, why don't I do my dancing and why don't I take a shower? And because I did that and had my water prepared, the facts are I drank over 100 ounces of water today. I've done my dancing, which is 10 songs, which actually is like 38 minutes or something. That doesn't even necessarily matter. It's just that I'm using my brain for good, for me. Like I'm learning choreography, which is fun for me. And there's something really empowering about the facts are, even if the rest of my day went to crap, I did something for myself and for my body, and there's something to be said about that versus if there's time at the end of the day, I'll do something for myself, which is how I used to operate. So, I am very tired right now, but it's like I'm proud of myself because I've done work today, like more work, and I'm seeing how, like, the fact that my system allowed me to even tackle those drawers, that's something that's now done. Like, that's like almost like a box that's been unpacked. So that's one thing done that's going to help everything, and I put away a little laundry as well, So, anyway, that being said, I am going to rest before she comes back. But I just wanted to say, I love you guys, and remember, you are the sky, and you deserve to be here every single day. You were here yesterday, you're here today, you will be here tomorrow. And I would encourage you from personal experience, never to have toxic positivity, but to search out and cling and count every moment of true joy that you might feel in a day. So one of the things I do is I watch baby animals on TV, and they make me happy. They at least don't stress me further. I've noticed that on times when I'm able to, if I'm on the couch and I'm watching, the baby animals, I will actually fall asleep, which is actually a huge, win for me personally, because that means my body got relaxed enough that it was able to fall asleep. And I understand there's some people where they might have tons of energy and that they sit down, they feel tired. That is not my case, at all. I am sleep, I am the chronic fatigue thing. So I actually do need lots of sleep, but I'm taking care of my daughter, and she's, going to traditional school, which means we get up, early. So I'm working on how can I still get that need met, in as natural and effective way as possible. So anyway, that being all that to say, I am going to lay down now because I also, took out the trash, put away the grocery. I've done a lot today anyway. And it's just amazing because the more you can be present, and that includes recognizing when you're tired and you need rest, but the more you can address things before they become, an emergency. So anyway, that being said, love you guys. Have a great day.